Greetings RC fans, Sharky here and welcome back to Sharky's Garage with an inception from Gareth Curtis of GCRC in the background here, because I'm talking about Big Blue and it is in trail mode. You can see it has the 5-lug Landy B-Glocks on with the Boom Racing tyres I won at East. It now has a toolbox in the back for the power supply for the winch, which isn't quite fixed up yet. We've got a lot of scale bits on the back there. We've moved the stickers. The battery box is in there. It's not quite finished yet, but it is almost there. So that's all done. We're going to take this out. We're going to go and do the woodland trail with it and bring you some footage of that. And then I'm probably going to put this into the show and shine. So, Big Blue episode 5. I'm doing a few tweaks and upgrades and moving Big Blue back over into trailing mode, as the next video that I plan to film for you is a trailing video, which will probably be the rest of this video. But before I do that, I need to do the upgrades. We've got some tyres. I am fiddling about with a few other things, including the the tow hitch, and some of the scale features. Going to go through all of that in a second. Before we get into the main part of the video, don't forget to do the usual things: like, comment and subscribe. So what am I doing? Well, I've taken off the wonderful trail wheels that we use for competition, so they've come off. And you remember that I was running these tyres on there, which are a no name, no brand tyre on a Landy 5-lug pattern heavy metal wheel. Well, I now know why, and these wheels are a pain in the bottom, which is why I've had to develop a blue tack and top of a candle pot to try and get them done. I've actually fitted up 3 of the 4 new tyres. So at East this year, in the raffle, I won a package from Boom Racing, and I won a set of these BRT R19008, which are a copy of a actual scale wheel. They're an all-terrain tyre, what they call the TRDs. So they're quite a sticky compound. So I won these in the raffle, which is why there's now Boom Racing stickers, because it was 2 packs. So I put Boom Racing in the back as a sponsor and put Boom Racing stickers on it. This is how they come, and that with the white foam insert. Now, because of these these rims, I've had to switch to the foams that are inside these ones, and I'll show you why in a moment. So I need to pull that out of there, and we'll see that in comparison to the other foam in a minute, because I've still got this one to do. You can see they're ribbed inside so that it stops the foams twisting. They're really nice sticky compound. Comparison wise, they're a lot narrower. So see that? They're narrower. If I turn them around that way. Okay. They've got a lot of sidewall grip. Okay. Obviously they're just as heavy because everything that's inside this one has gone inside this one. I'm going to strip this one down and then come back to you in a second to show you the foam inside here. But these are an absolute git bag to get these, because these go through from the front and into this in the back. But to push those 2 parts together and hold them to get this, and because of that, these are all out of line. So you need to get both parts, front and rear, which I'll show you in a second, lined up perfectly, because otherwise they don't look right. Gareth Curtis noticed I'd got one that was out, which I managed to fix on these, but because these are slightly different, it's made it even harder to do. But I think they look fantastic mounted up. I'll show you the other side in a minute, but we'll strip this one down and show you what's inside here. Right, so I've just got to take this last one of these out and take this apart. So there's 5 of these on here. You can see in the background I've already got that side mounted up. Also making sure that I've put this one on the right way round for the other side. Should I want to turn them round so that we've got this pattern for crawling at some point, I can do and switch sides, but it's just a case of making sure, because they are a rotational style tyre. So 5 of those out. This comes off the back, and then you've got 2 parts. You've got a front part and a back part. Front dish comes out relatively easily. Back dish comes out relatively easily. But because of this pattern, you'll see that they're slightly off. Now there is one of them that is right by that. So if we find on the back piece, and we find the one that's right on there, and so you have to line that up, because then you clear through. But if you turn them one, you'll see there's little bits of black showing, and if you've got them 2 spaces out, you can see part of the other rim through. So it's one of the things you've got to watch with them. I wasn't careful when I redid because they weren't rotational. The other tyres weren't lined up quite right. So now that's that. Now inside here there is the metal ring, which somebody who had these, I bought these second hand, has put 8 weights on, glued to and then taped round. So that's super heavy. Obviously these came with the white foams, which you can see now are inside the spares of this. This has a black foam which has grips inside it. When you look at them sideways on, it's slightly smaller, and this one has a curvature at the side as opposed to being flat on. So I'm going to use these ones, which I have done, to mount them up, because it wouldn't work with this. So that's going inside here, putting all of that together and putting back on the rig. I'm going to do that off camera because it involves this, it involves me leaning on it, it involves me putting pegs through holes. It's an absolute ache of the lower reproductive organs, and takes me 10 or 15 minutes just to mount up each one of these tyres. Going to do that off camera. Well, that only took me 3 attempts to get it on and done. So now I can take it off the blue tack and get these mounted up on the other side. The body is just sat on, so we'll deal with that in a second. Looking at other things that I've done, I'll drop you down. So we've had a few little teething troubles. This one here wasn't going in and out properly, so I have now got a tap and re-tapped that. On the rear, let's move that forward so you may be able to see, I've cut a little bit off the back there to allow this to sit a little bit further back in, because it wasn't going into the hole, so it was sitting out too far and it was causing it to wobble up and down. Also, it got quite a short screw through from the inside. So if I turn that over there like that, so I've put a longer screw through and I've tapped that into the top here to get that more secure. The Crawlmaster V3 had been taped down as this had, but it had come loose, so I've put new Velcro under that. You can see on the front here we've got the Trial knuckles and all of that on the front here. So we can just put the wheels on quickly, and then I can look at the body. So that's all the wheels mounted up. You see we've got the Boom Racing sticker on this side as well to match it. The body isn't mounted at the moment. I will do that in a bit, but it takes a while. I want to show you what I've done on the back here. So we've got some new rings, whereas before, if I turn it round, you can see here we had these blue ones. Let's see if I can take you off the stand and zoom you in. 1 second. Right, so previously I had one of these attached into here to hook into. I now got these other blue anodized ones. I've got 4 of them. So we'd also got this pull point, but what I've done is I've put those 2 onto clips, which means we can move things around. I've used my kinetic and put 2 of them on the end of that, but they're also tucked through another one of these, because 4 of the kinetic lines just goes through the loop there, so that sits there nicely. I just used a cable tie to clip them into on the side there. We need to get a better solution, but David at Scale Overland will be at Shuttleworth this weekend, so I'm sure we can talk more about what he can do to get this looking way more scale than it is. But yes, so we've got a kinetic there because I am a fan of Matt's Off-Road, and I am also a fan of Fabrats and of Colt Builds It, and several of the recovery rounders which use kinetic ropes to pull out, and obviously blue being my colour, hence why the blue kinetic. This on the back is now firmly fixed on there, so that now looks right. The nut underneath is a bit big. I may have to look at doing something with that just to make it look a bit more scale there. And we've added a Boom Racing sticker in the back there. So that's it for now. This is the Ultra Scale Trail Woods Cabin Trail. I have got Big Blue out here in trail mode with the Boom Racing tyres and 5 lug landies and all the rest of it. God, that looks good. This Crawlmaster V3 is so good, and considering it's an outrunner, it doesn't whine like a lot of outrunners do. So the other thing with this is I've got a decent amount of range on it, so I can just run this down here. There's gate 2. There's a 3. Find the broken glass. Up to 4 and 5. There's 99 gates in here. I don't want to get it too mucked up because I'm planning on putting it in the show and shine, which I'll put you some footage in the general video. try it over here. Need to get a decent thumbnail for the video, so we'll see if we can find somewhere to do that in a minute. See? $14. Nicely done. 16. 18. 19. 20. Cruising along. Three. Unlike East, I don't have kits in to film for me today. 25. 26. 27. 28. 1 misses. Hopefully we'll catch up with some others. Three. That's 35. 36 and 37. 39. Down to 40 and caught up with some people. Jack. $43, I think, is a down, is it? Okay, 44, 45, 46 and 47 up here, and I will pause up here and take a thumbnail. And I will pick up somebody's rubbish that they've left behind here. I wish people wouldn't do that. Right, so now I'll come down through here. Now I've picked up the rubbish that people have left behind. I'll replace this gate. Somebody's obviously knocked it down. Something caught on the back there. Just put my boot on it. Right, let's have a look what we've got. Clear that out. Clear that out. Here we are at gate 52. And I'll probably overtake this young gentleman here. Thank you for replacing the gate. It's nice to see you're doing that. I wish everybody was.
Yeah, just because I ran that over.
Oh, you ran it over, did you? Well, it's good that you put it back.
Yeah.
The winch cable has come off. In trail mode, I absolutely love this, and once I got the winch working and then we've got the trailer so I can actually pull people out. Ooh, that's a tight rock. That's gate 65 already. But obviously this is a lot more capable rig than the Willys, which is why I did the other trail with that. D90 ahead of us. Right, let's I'm going to take a photo of it about there. Here. Some lovely driving areas here, lovely scale bits. 74. .5. 6. Just going to get it through 77 and then move to the other side of this tree. Actually, I can probably make it down to 78. .79. And up over there. 80. 81. 82, 83, 84, 93. This is the 20 gate original SST trail, which is always a nightmare. People having a lot of fun but a lot of rolls, so I'm not going to take Big Blue on that because I don't want to wreck the body. Need a Lexan body for that. I'll go all the way up the end here. .97, .98. Bit of grass here, let's clear that out. .99 and finish. Right folks, that's it for Big Blue out on the trail in the wood, the ultra trail scale trail in the woods. Thanks very much for watching. We'll catch you all again next time. Now I'm going to try and be a bit cocky here and try this bit here. Hopefully I'm not going to break the rig, because that would be really annoying. It's gone up there like an absolute dream. It's just whether you can come down the other side or not without rolling. So we have to remember, when in doubt, throttle out. Well, there was no doubt on that. It did it.